Hello and welcome back to Random Vids. So yeah, I'm going to take a break this week from the Total Drama plush. Instead, we're going to talk about a ranking series. And of course, this is another Mario Party ranking series, as the title says. Today, I'm going to be ranking all the minigames from Mario Party DS. So Mario Party DS actually hasn't been one of my, nostalgia games in a way. I got it back in 2017, I think, or 18. For the first time. Maybe it was 16. It was one of those years I got Mario Party DS for the first time. It might have been 17 or 18 that I got Mario Party DS. And the game cards we had were kind of crappy. We couldn't play any of the 1v3 minigames, for example. Or half the minigames we just couldn't play. I don't know why. Well, just last year for Christmas we got brand new SD cards for... We got brand new game cartridges for Mario Party DS. This allows for us to be able to play all the minigames. However, there's going to be a few minigames I'm not going to include on this list. The first one being the boss minigames. I couldn't even tell you that there was boss minigames in this Mario Party. I completely forgot all about it. And the other minigame that we're not going to include is the tricky triangles puzzle minigame, because no, I have not unlocked that minigame. But everything else is fair game. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get started with my absolute least favorite minigame from Mario Party DS, and that is Soil Toil. So yeah, here we have our first 2v2 minigame, and our first minigame in general. What's so interesting about Soil Toil, you may ask? Absolutely nothing. You drive a car in a very weird way by turning the wheel with your stylus, and whoever turns the wheel more depends how fast you go. What? This is a very odd minigame, and just very awkward to control in general. And honestly, there isn't really any too terribly bad minigames in Mario Party DS. There is lots of fun ones, but there is a few obviously that do stand out, and not in a good way. And overall, it's just an awkward minigame in general. We already have so many other racing minigames in this Mario Party that, this one is just a meh one when compared to the others. And the awkward controls in general is what makes this my least favorite minigame in this collection. Number 66, Cherry Go Round. Talk about another awkward minigame where you have to use your stylus to wind the button up or whatever as fast as possible. But the same problems with Soil Toil are here with this minigame too. You're winding it in basically the awkward direction, and sometimes the computers can actually be really smart on this minigame. And playing this minigame with people who are really good at the minigame is just no fair and no fun. This minigame sucks. It's definitely the second worst minigame in this collection. At least it's something different than just racing, but yeah, easily second worst. Number 65, Trash Landing. When I first played this minigame, I always thought it was a luck minigame, but it's actually laid out a little different compared to those other typical pick the rope and see which one you get. And I guess in a way it is kind of luck, but it turns into if you can just jump at the right time. And while it's definitely better than those other luck minigames where you have to, pick the right rope and hope you get the right whatever, you still have to jump onto that platform. And jumping on that platform is no easy task, because depending on, what rope you picked, it can depend on what tool is big or small. And if you pick a small one, well, good luck jumping on that. That's all I have to say. It's not the worst minigame in this collection, but I've never liked this minigame as a kid, and I still don't think it's anything too crazy. It takes a typical luck minigame and makes it a little better, but there's only so much you can do with this type of minigame. Number 64, Cheap Cheap Chance. Speaking of luck minigames, here we have, I guess, our first luck minigame, honestly, unless you don't count Trash Landing. Well, I mean, we've talked about luck minigames millions of times in the past, and, well, it's a luck minigame. I don't know what else to say about it. It kind of reminds me of the fishing one from Mario Party 9 in a way, except more boring. All you're doing is pulling up ropes and hoping that you're not getting, a rope that doesn't have a Cheep Cheep on it. So, yeah. Pretty straightforward minigame. It's your usual luck minigame. And one thing that I forgot to mention is I really love the theme of the minigames, where you're shrunken down and everything is ginormous. That makes this minigame collection just so unique and cool compared to, other Mario Parties. But even just this minigame is just, you could do this in any Mario Party. Stand on some sort of life preserver and pull up Cheep Cheeps. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Number 63, Rubber Ducky Duo. Okay, well, although Hudson does usually make really great Mario Parties, They also do make very unfair 1v3 minigames as well. Well, any Mario Party will have its unfair 1v3 minigames, but I definitely noticed them in the Hudson era, unfortunately. And while I guess this minigame is kind of cool on paper, in execution it's just one of those super unfair 1v3 minigames. 1v3 minigames are very hit or miss always, and it's a shame that you play them like half the time on the boards. So you gotta hope that the Mario Party that you're playing has some good 1v3 minigames. Luckily Mario Party DS does, but that doesn't mean there's a few bad ones here or there. Well, I guess the theme on riding on duckies is cool, but it's just another unfair 1v3 minigame. It reminds me of Chump Rope from Mario Party 8 in a way. Number 62, Chips and Dips. Well, now we have our first battle minigame. It's strange how this Mario Party still has battle minigames. They've had battle minigames up to about the Hudson era ended. But, okay. Unfortunately this has to be the worst one though, because it's just another luck minigame. Well, I do think the theming is way better than Cheap Cheap Chance or whatever that one's called. It's just another luck minigame. Like, we've seen these everywhere. In any Mario Party game, there's always a luck minigame to be found. And unfortunately, you know, most of them are just pretty awful. Now, I definitely don't think this is the worst luck minigame ever, but, I mean, and I guess the theming is kind of cool and all, but, man, you just get punished so hard if you have, you know, bad luck. Because not only could you get a low amount of numbers, but you could get all your chips taken away. So, in a way, this is basically Deckhands from Mario Party 7, but just worse. And it doesn't have the catchy music either, so yeah, it's worse. Number 61, Big Blowout. Welcome to the microphone minigames of Mario Party DS. And this game, in general, is the game that broke my microphone on the 3DS. I kid you not. I don't think it was this minigame, I think it was another one, but any minigame that makes you blow as hard as humanly possible into the microphone is never a good idea. Nowadays, if I have to play this minigame, I'll just plug in a pair of earbuds and blow into it that way. So I guess I'll just then ruin the earbuds. Yeah, note to self, if you're creating a minigame that uses microphone minigames, it has to be a microphone minigame that you have to, like, talk into, not blow as loud as possible to try to beat everyone. Yeah, that's not gonna work. And I mean, boiling down, it's boring anyway. Number 60, Toppling Terror. Oh look, here's the same problem as the last minigame. I believe this is the minigame that did take out my microphone. My brother knows. I don't know. I don't remember which minigame it was this one or Big Blowout. But I think it was this one. Once again, it's literally the same minigame. Just blow louder than the other person so that they get smashed and not you. It kind of reminds me of that one minigame from Mario Party 5, except instead of mashing a button, you're just blowing in the microphone. Yeah, definitely worse than that one. Number 59, Pedal Pushers. Well, here's your slot car derby type of minigame. It's literally just slot car derby. And once again, it's another one of these racing type of minigames. I feel like this minigame, in a way, I mean, it's better than Soil Toil, because at least it isn't awkward, but the controls is just kind of like, eh. Like I said, it's literally just slot car derby, so it just all depends on if you like slot car derby or not. And to a point, slot car derby is fine, and I think honestly slot car derby is better than this minigame, just because, I don't know, I just like slot car derby a little bit better. Both minigames have really awkward controls though, but this one is just, I don't know, I just think it's even worse the way that it's put. I don't know, I just can't ever do it that well. I mean, it's better than, like I said, Soil Toil, but it's still definitely a below-average minigame. Number 58, Airbrushers. So here we finally have another 2v2 minigame. Actually, not finally, we just talked about Toppling Terror. This one's alright. I mean, you're just flying around grabbing some coins. It's just your typical coin minigame. Everyone wins, you know. I don't know, something about this minigame is just okay. Like, it's definitely not the worst thing ever, but it's just fine overall. There's just nothing really to it. Number 57, Mario's Puzzle Party. This is easily the worst out of any of the puzzle minigames from Mario Party. Well, okay, minus those two random 3DS ones that I hardly know. But from the main game and like from the Hudson era especially, yeah, this is easily the worst one. Not only is it the most boring of them all, but there's just not much to it. You can tell this is almost like a test in a way for like future puzzle minigames to come in the future, and it shows because, man, this minigame just gets so dry in this Mario Party at least. Now, obviously, there is puzzle minigames that are more interesting maybe in other games. Like I do like Mario Party Superstars version of Puzzle Party a lot more than this version, just because you're actually with other people. So when you're doing it by yourself, it is fun in a way, to a point, but it's just boring overall. And after playing the Superstars version with, other players, I can then kind of get a grasp on, how the minigame actually plays. And while it's fine, it's definitely the worst out of the puzzle minigames from the main Hudson era. Not terrible minigame, but definitely the worst out of the puzzle ones. And those computers sometimes can really be, even in Superstars, can be kind of tricky. Especially on easy mode. But yeah, sometimes I'm just here waiting around for the blocks to drop, and I don't even need the thwomp. It's pointless. Yeah, this is definitely a test minigame for future puzzles and the minigames in the future. Definitely the worst of the bunch. Still neat they brought it back though, but, like I said, there's better ones. Number 56, Crater Crawl. Well, now we finally reached the era of minigames where just survive to the end type of minigames, where you try to survive longer than your opponents. And while some of them are fine, others are just extremely boring because there's once again just so many of them in this Mario Party. And yeah, it's self-explanatory. Just don't get hit by the lava. Just like I said, be better than your component. Number 55, Tidal Falls. Well, here you have another coin minigame, although this one is kind of interesting. You have to grab the coins, but you also have to keep an eye on the waves. You don't want the waves to take you out, otherwise you'll get stunned for the next, round or whatever. So, it's more interesting than airbrushers, but it's still another just kind of meh minigame overall. I do like the beach theme, though. Number 54, Shuffleboard Showdown. Well, here's Crater Crawl again. Just throw the chips at the other three people. Pretty self-explanatory. Once again, there's just minigames like this in this Mario Party that are done better. It's a pretty straightforward minigame. Not bad, just boring. Number 53, Track Star. Alright, well, here's another 1v3 minigame, and it's another one that I'm just very iffy on. In a way, it is kind of a luck minigame, but at the same time, I guess not really? I don't know. Because the person on the train has no idea what paths the other three are taking. So if the three choose, obviously to split up, then, the train is screwed. And honestly, you can mash the buttons really fast. So most likely you won't ever really get ran over by the train, unless you are actually not the best button masher ever. So in a way, it is kind of unfair for the one person, but it's not as unfair as the Rubber Ducky Rodeo. And this minigame can tend to get a little long too at times, but it's not bad. Number 52, Rotisserie Rampage. Hey look, it's literally that same minigame from Mario Party 2. I don't know why this Mario Party, in a way, is it has a lot of minigames from older Mario Parties just reskinned. And while I guess this minigame is better because it is, it looks much better, and it's a food theme. Who doesn't like food themed minigames? And I guess the gist of the minigame is a little more interesting than the other two we talked about, but at the same time, it is just more boring compared to some of the other minigames. Number 51, Sprinkler Scalers. So here we have kind of an interesting 2v2 minigame. It's almost like airbrushers in a way, where you and your partner really have to work together. But I think it is a little better than airbrushers is, because you're not just flying around getting coins. You're actually trying to work together to get out of this, I guess, drain that you got stuck in, and you have to beat the other team. So it can be kind of fun in a way, when you have a good partner, that is. If you don't, then this can be a very annoying and tedious minigame. Number 50, Cheap Chump. Hey look, it's the minigame from Mario Party 6, Blooper Scooper or something like that, where the big blooper comes out and takes you. Well, this is literally the same minigame, except now it's Cheap and it's a battle minigame. So, yeah, once again, another pretty straightforward, kind of more boring minigame. Number 49, Soccer Survival. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just don't get hit by the soccer ball. Pretty simple. It's another one of those minigames where you try to survive longer than your foes. Nothing else I gotta say here. Number 48, Wompathon. Literally the same exact minigame that I talked about, except instead of soccer balls, you're not trying to get hit by the wumps. Once again, very self-explanatory. Number 47, Cyber Scamper. This minigame is neat in a way. I love how the blocks go from going on to off, so it makes it, kind of hard in a way. Because sometimes, you have no idea where the heck the path is. Now, I feel like this is a minigame I would like maybe a little better if I would just have more time to play it or play it longer, because this is one of those minigames, unfortunately, that I haven't played until just last year. So I didn't get really much of a chance to play it too much, So maybe this is a minigame that'll be higher in the future, but for now, I think here is a good spot for it. Number 46, Raft Riot. That means same thing as Cyborg Scamper. There's another one of those minigames that I didn't get to play much due to me just being able to play it for the first time, last year. Well, once again, I mean, it's another racing minigame, very self-explanatory, but, I don't really remember much of how much I either hated or loved the controls, or if it was just right in the middle. So once again, I think this is another minigame that belongs right here, more like middle of the list, until maybe I play it a little more and see really how where it goes. I mean, yeah, boiling it down, it's another racing minigame. There's millions of these racing minigames in this Mario Party, so there's obviously way better ones in general, even if it is a minigame that I grow to like. Number 45, Shortcut Circuit. I mean, definitely a more interesting coin minigame than the other ones we talked about. You have to put the little left or right arrows down to be able to go and collect different coins. However, it gets annoying if, someone else uses your platform and gets the coin, or like they put their platform right down where you put yours, and they end up using it or getting the coins that way. So it can get a little annoying, but it's a decent minigame overall, I guess. Number 44, Mole Thrill. So this is a very interesting minigame where you have to dig as fast as possible away from the Monty Mole, who's about to eat you for dinner. So going fast is key, but you also want to make sure you're not going to run into any rocks. And it's another one of those minigames that you truly do really have to work together with your partner to make sure that you guys are, like digging, together. Or like if you move your spoon before your teammate, then it'll go in that direction, up or down. So it's really interesting the way they did that, and it works really well. But once again, it's another one of those racing minigames, and it's just okay. Number 43, Book It. So this is another one of those minigames where it can be really fun if you're with someone who's really good at like mashing and going fast, but if you're with someone who's a lot slower, then it can be kind of tedious as well. So it's almost kind of like sprinklers, scalers in a way, but it's not quite as tedious as that minigame is, and the theming overall is just better in general, and pushing A, B, Y, and X is fun to do. But once again, there's better 2v2 minigames out there. Number 42, Short Fuse. Definitely a better microphone minigame than the other ones, because this time you don't just have to scream in it as loud as possible or blow like as much as possible. This one you can more control yourself. How much do you really want to blow it and stuff? If you don't really want to blow it and ruin your 3DS microphone like what I did, then you don't really have to blow as much and leave the work for somebody else. And, I mean, it could look like a luck minigame, but it honestly is not, because you get to control, really, how low that fuse gets. And I think it's a pretty interesting minigame overall. I remember playing it with a bunch of friends, and it was a fun minigame to do, and it was fun trying to get it as low as possible without letting it blow up on yourself. So yeah, it's a better microphone minigame, that's for sure, and a better battle minigame. Better than the other two we talked about, at least. Number 41, Roller Coasters. This is not a roller coaster, you're just riding on a ball racing to the end. Which, once again, it's another one of those racing minigames. But it's definitely more interesting than the other racing minigames we talked about, which is why it's a lot higher. And it's neat having to move the ball with your stylus, and it moves in such a unique way where it isn't too terribly annoying, but it is kind of awkward in a way, but not to the point where I dislike the minigame. I think it's really cool and unique overall, but that name, Roller Coasters, like, they could, like, anytime I think of the name, it just reminds me of Hangar Management, because that seems more like a roller coaster, not this. Number 40, Twist and Root. So here's another one of these racing minigames. I know we just talked about roller coasters, and here we are again with another one of these type of minigames. Except this one I think is even more interesting, because you have to twist the little gizmo in the back, to the little gear, to let the toy car go, which is really neat. So obviously you most likely want to twist it up as much as possible so it can go a lot further. And, of course, you want to beat everyone else, which this ends up turning into a really interesting minigame, with also trying to avoid, all the obstacles that's around you as well. And, of course, avoid the other cars. So, I think it is better than roller coasters. The controls aren't as awkward as that minigame, and it's just fun overall. It kind of reminds me of Soil Toil, honestly, but just done right, because now you don't have to twist the thing throughout the whole minigame. You actually get to control your vehicle, how it's supposed to be controlled. Number 39, All Geared Up. Well, I guess technically this is another kind of racing minigame. Not really. I guess it is kind of race to the top, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not like the others that we talked about. The other two, I guess. This one's neat. It's a platformer one where you have to get to the very top before your component. In a way, this one almost kind of reminds me of, well, I guess Cog Jog from Mario Party 6, but I also get, that other minigame from Mario Party 6 vibes as well. It's the 4-player one where you're going through the pipes and you're trying to climb, it's another platformer type of minigame. You're trying to get to the end before everyone else. It kind of reminds me of that in a way. Obviously, this is much shorter than that minigame, so it's not as good as that minigame, but it is better than Cog Jog, I will say that. Number 38, Power Washer. I kept looking at this minigame and I wanted to put it a lot lower on the list, but every time I would, I just look back at it like, the theming of this minigame is just so great that I don't care if it's another reskin of like some of these other type of 1v3 minigames, or someone gets to control these little gizmos to get somebody out. This has definitely got to be one of the better type of minigames. It's just so unique being able to control basically just water. Well, okay, maybe not unique, because we've seen this before in many other minigames, but just the theme itself, you're walking around with this dish, trying not to get squirted by, the little nozzles and stuff. It's just so creative, even if it is another just reskin minigame, but I couldn't help it, so I put it at 38. Number 37, Penny Pinchers. Oh look, it's Money Belts from Mario Party 4 again. Man, oh man, this Mario Party has so many minigames that just references other minigames, which I do like. That makes them tons of fun. But overall, I don't think it's better than Money Belt. I don't know. Both minigames are like a tie. Most of the coin minigames can be pretty boring, and while Money Belts is definitely one of the better coin minigames, I guess this one is also one of the better coin minigames as well. Basically just pick up what, the one person doesn't get. It's just like Money Belts or Mario Party 4. Very self-explanatory. Number 36, Memory Mash. Yeah, we've seen this minigame before in many other Mario Parties as well. What makes this one of the better ones, though, is you can have a bunch of different cards flipped over. It doesn't just have to strictly be 2. And you don't have to just stand at one. Slowly pick one up. Kind of like the one from Mario Party Jamboree in a way. This one, you can run around and, ground pound as many cards as you want. And if your, teammate also ground pounded its match, then you get a match. So it's a better fast-paced memory game than some of the other ones. Number 35, Shorty Scores. Well, here we have our sport minigame, and a very interesting sport minigame. It's basketball mixed with soccer. Okay. It is definitely a better sport minigame than stuff like beach volley, frolly, or tackle takedown. And it is more fun when you have actual players with you, because it can end up being lots of fun. With computers, it's just, a typical sport minigame. Like, it could easily be mistaken for the hockey one from Mario Party 5, and unfortunately, it's not. It's definitely not as good as the minigame from Mario Party 9, the Goomba Bowling one. Not Goomba Bowling, the other one. Goomba Soccer, the one that came back in Superstars. But it's a decent minigame overall. Number 34, Globe Gunners. So, this minigame kind of reminds me of the new one from Jamboree, where you have to, I think it's called Snag the Flags. Sort of. It sort of reminds me of that. Just because you're running around in a big globe. Obviously, this minigame is definitely not as good as that minigame, just because of the fact that, I don't know, this globe you're running around on is so massive, and everyone is so small, so it's hard to find people half the time, which kind of defeats the purpose of this being a shooting type of minigame where you're trying to, shoot the other people with the paintballs. So, yeah, it may not be the greatest minigame ever, and I do think on paper it is tons of fun, and even playing the minigame it is fun. You just aren't going to be able to find anybody really that much often in this minigame. Number 33, Peace Out. Now at this point it's just, what puzzle minigame do I like more than the other one? Unfortunately though, every single puzzle minigame is hindered on this list just because of the fact that you cannot play them multiplayer, unfortunately. They have to be single player. So not having that option is very unfortunate. But hey, having them all in this Mario Party in general is just so unique and crazy, and I love it. Because this Mario Party isn't supposed to have, I guess, minigames from other Mario Parties, but hey, if they're going to bring back the puzzle minigames, then I'll take it. Especially since at the time, I don't think I ever had Mario Party 5 or 4 at the time when I got Mario Party DS. So it was nice being able to play, like Bomb Breakers and Peace Out, and of course Mario's Puzzle Party. Now this minigame is definitely better than Mario's Puzzle Party. It's a lot more interesting than just stacking blocks. Like I said, that minigame was almost like the test to many other puzzle minigames in the future. And while this minigame, I mean, it's definitely not my favorite puzzle minigame, it still is a fun one overall in general. But unfortunately, I do think the Mario Party 5 version is better just because of the fact that, you can actually play it multiplayer. This version, when you play it by yourself, I mean, it's fun, but, it's always more fun when you can play with someone else. But hey, it's still a good minigame. Number 32, Block Star. It's a shame to put this at number 32 when it's normally like top 10, but once again, the reason why it isn't top 10 is because of the fact that you can only play the single player, which once again gets kind of boring after a while. But at least this minigame is more fast-paced than Mario's Puzzle Party and even the other one I just talked about too, Peace Out. But unfortunately, once again, from the, 4 versions that this minigame is in, it has to be my least favorite of the 4, just because of the fact that, once again, you can only play this in single player. I still love Blockstar though. It's a fun minigame. Even in this Mario Party, it's fun to do. It's just more fun with other people. One thing I forgot to mention is that all these puzzle minigames, they mashed up all the songs from Mario Parties 1 to 7, 3 to 7, and mashed it up into this big, fun song to listen to. And the way that they mash it up just works so perfectly. Now, obviously, one could argue that the song could get annoying, like my brother. He really thinks the song got very annoying after a while. Fair enough. I mean, like I said, there's basically no time limit. You are the time limit for these minigames. So, yeah, the song can get repetitive, but I don't care. I think it's catchy, and I think it's so creative. They haven't done this, I think, in any other Mario Party game for the puzzle minigames, or just any minigame in general. Fun minigame, but, like I said, you're by yourself, so. Number 31, Study Fall. I've seen this minigame before in many other Mario Parties, but I don't know what it is. I think it's just theming, that's what just makes it fun. Like, yeah, boiling it down is just another Nightlight Fright, but I don't know. I like this minigame. Number 30, Dress to Success. Talk about just a goofy minigame in general. You have to find the right, dress for your character. And while, yeah, the cards do go all over the place, it isn't enough that it's considered a luck minigame. You just have to simply pick the right card for your character. And I love how some of the outfits look like there'll be double buttons, or like something will be missing, like Yoshi's belly will be missing, like Toad's coat will be buttoned together. I don't know, it's just goofy the way that they look. And boiling it down, it's a fun minigame. It reminds me of the minigame from Super Mario 64 DS, where you have to match the characters up in a way. Kind of goofy. Number 29, Goomba Wrangler. I mean, I always get excited to play this minigame. It's the start of Mario Party DS, some of the best minigames ever out of any of the Mario Parties, probably the best out of the Hudson era. And this minigame just always gets me so excited for this game, because I know there's a lot of more fun minigames to come. In fact, 28 more fun ones. Number 28, Trace Cadets. Now, yeah, this one may be a very awkward and odd minigame, and it's one that I never got myself when I was young. But now that I'm older, and after many, many practices of this minigame, I obviously know how to play this one a lot more. Now, all you have to do is really just trace the shape that it's showing. And while I think my only gripe with the minigame is sometimes you can draw the shape, but it won't register for some reason. So it is a little bit of an awkward minigame. But I mean, this Mario Party has a lot of awkward minigames already, so I don't really care as much. I guess it's more one of those slow and steady wins the race type of minigames. It almost reminds me of the one minigame from Mario Party 8, the very first one you play, just not as fun, just because that one you don't have to be quite as accurate in and it'll still work. But hey, this one's still a fun one. Number 27, Hot Shots. So this one is simple. You just aim for Kamek and Bowser, but not Toadette. Once again, another minigame we kind of seen before in the past, but this minigame is fun. It's really fun to be able to... The aiming is just so easy to do and just so fun, and it's fun trying to get everything before, your opponent does, so definitely a really great minigame for sure. Number 26, Parachuting Gallery. Pretty simple. Just fall through the right shape that shows on the screen, and make sure that your opponent doesn't knock you out of the way. I mean, yeah, it can be kind of a simple minigame on paper, but with all the players running around as well, trying to get into the right shape, it can turn into a very hectic minigame. But that's what makes it fun. Whoever runs into the most shapes correctly wins the minigame. Pretty simple. Number 25, Sweet Sleuth. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Basically, Shy Guy wants candy, so you have to pick out the right one for him. Once again, the food themes are just amazing. I love the minigames that have food themes. And it's crazy to think that, you know, a lot of these food-themed minigames started way back in this Mario Party. And, I mean, it's a simple minigame, but it can still be a lot of fun. Number 24, Gusty Blizzard. Definitely the best of the microphone minigames. Because, I mean, yeah, you do have to kind of, once again, blow in it pretty good. But the minigame itself is just so creative. Try not to, you know, get frozen in the snowman and rub your stylus on yourself to warm you up. It's just so goofy. Definitely the best of the microphone minigames. Number 23, Cube Crushers. Man, what another very interesting minigame. And a lot of these are really interesting just for the theming alone, because of the fact that, you know, like I said, you're shrunken down. So the theming in most of these minigames are really fun and really neat to, you know, do and stuff. Well, I mean, the worst part, honestly, about this minigame is just the controls, because, you know, it's ice physics. But, you know, it doesn't hinder me that much that I just think it's a downright bad minigame, because I do think it is lots of fun. It's just not one of my absolute favorites, but it's good. Number 22, Plush Crush. I mean, once again, the name is very self-explanatory. Just don't get crushed by the plushies. Another just goofy minigame that, once again, I haven't played until just last year when we got brand new cartridges. And it's a very just unique and goofy minigame. While it is just another one of those, what's the minigame called? You know the one I'm talking about. The one from Mario Party 5 where you're in the cubes. It's literally just that minigame. But who cares? Because once again, the theme just carries this minigame. Yeah, let's just pick up these stuffed animals and try to crush the person on the one side. It's just so goofy and hilarious. And, you know, I don't care if it's a very simple minigame. It's fun. And, you know, it's great all around. Number 21, Fast Food Frenzy. Well, once again, another one of these minigames that I've seen before, but, man, once again, just the theme just carries it. Yeah, let's just put typical fast food, you know, meals out on the conveyor belt for the other three to trip over and whatnot, to stop the three players, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And it, once again, turns into just a very creative and interesting minigame, and just downright goofy in general. Yeah, make sure the french fries don't hit us. Man, normally the 1v3 minigames are some of the absolute worst in the collection, but this Mario Party in general really nailed its 1v3 minigames for the most part. Hudson really ended it with a bang before, you know, it would get taken over by ND Cube. Number 20, Crazy Crosshairs. This is another very interesting 2v2 minigame, and I love how a lot of these 2v2 minigames, you and your partner really actually have to work together. It's not one of those ones where you can just simply turn into a 4-player minigame, like a simple just mashing minigame. No, this one, you and your partner really have to work together to be able to shoot the, what are those things? Scuttlebugs? I believe so. I don't know. They always change design and all. But yeah, the way this minigame works is just so unique, and I like it. It's definitely, in my opinion, I guess the first minigame in my top 20. Number 19, Star Catchers. Definitely the best of the battle minigames, because this one is really unique. Wait until the star shows up and just immediately tap it before your opponents do. This one can end up being lots of fun with lots of people. By yourself, I mean, once again, it's very easy, but with other players, it can be, you know, really fun to play. It's definitely the best of the battle minigames. Number 18, Bob-omb Breakers. It's so fun seeing this one return, because it's never returned in, you know, anything besides this, I guess, at this point. And it's definitely a really unique puzzle minigame. Remember Mario Party 3's and how generic that one is? Well, this one is tons of fun, mainly for the bombs themselves, where once you trap a bomb, it can explode a whole bunch of, you know, everything around it, basically, but you have to make sure it's covered up. So the way it works in this Mario Party is definitely a lot different than in Mario Party 4, well, at least with multiple players. You have to make sure you get enough to match to get to the next level before the walls close in on you, and then, you have nowhere else to go. So it's definitely more interesting than all the others that I already talked about for the one player wise, at least, I'll say. It's definitely much more interesting than the other two we talked about, and makes you actually want to keep going instead of just give up because it gets so boring. So yeah, definitely the one of the better ones of the puzzle minigames, just because you're forced to do, one player. Number 17, Dust Buddies. Wasn't there a minigame in Super Mario Party called Dust Buddies as well? That 1v3 minigame where you had to clean up dust? Okay, well, this is that minigame, but just more fun, because you're not the ones vacuuming it up. You are the dirt that's getting vacuumed up. So once again, the theme just carries this minigame. You're trying to run away from a giant vacuum cleaner. It's goofy. Sure, why not? Make a minigame where we run away from a giant vacuum cleaner, because, what other Mario Party would you ever do this in? None, exactly. Unless if they make some sort of Mario Party that brings back Mario Party DS minigames. That would be nice. Well, once again, it's pretty self-explanatory. Run away from the vacuum, and you win. Very great minigame. Number 16, Rail Riders. This one's a fun one as well. I love the ones that you have to try to get it further than everyone else type of minigames. Well, I shouldn't say that, because we also have Cherry Go Round in this Mario Party. Okay, ones that are done really well, I should say, and ones that actually control well, like this one. Not only is the theme way better than Cherry Go Round, where you're riding down a big staircase rail, but it's fun trying to go as fast as possible to see, how far you can actually make it. It's one of those minigames that's fun to try to beat your record in. But yeah, definitely one of the best minigames. Number 15, Nothing to Luge. Well, we finally have another racing minigame. It's been a while. And this one is a really unique one because, once again, if you're by yourself, but if you're on the 3 side, you all have to work together to make sure you're not running into the snowbank and slowing down. And you want to be able to beat the person on the 1 side. So it overall can be a pretty, mixed bag minigame on who wins. Which those are always obviously the better 1v3 minigames, the fair ones. But the theme in general, once again, just kind of carries this minigame. You're in the snow, like you're sledding down the snow. It's like sledding down on the snow on a snowy day. What need I say? And it's fun how they put this into a minigame. And it works well, too. Number 14, Cucumber Jacks. Just use your stylus and go across the screen as fast as possible to cut some cucumbers. It's as simple as that, but tons of fun. Nothing else I gotta say, just a really fun and satisfying 2v2 minigame. Number 13, Double Vision. Yeah, no, I can't believe I put this one this high either, but darn it, it's just so much fun being able to draw a certain character and try to make it better than the other team. And once again, this is another one of those minigames where you and your partner have to really work together. I love how Mario Party DS really did that, actually. Like, a lot of these minigames are fun, but there are a lot of minigames that you really have to work hard together with the other person as well, which is just so, I don't know if I just never noticed it before in other Mario Parties or what, but it's just fun being able to, it's neat seeing how they put together these minigames where it actually feels like you and your teammate really have to work together to beat the other team. Definitely a great minigame for sure. It's always fun being able to draw the outline of the Goomba or whatever shape you're doing. Number 12, Hanger Management. Once again, I think the theme is what kind of takes this minigame just up that extra notch. But man, this minigame is just tons of fun. It honestly kind of reminds me of that one minigame from Mario Party 6 where you have to mash the A button and then mash the B button to get to the other side faster than the other team. And you're on you're kind of on a rail like that too. But the theming, obviously, in this minigame is better. All you're really doing is just zipping around the backyard on a hanger, because, why the heck not? And you have to make sure you don't bump into any of the obstacles in the way either. This is the minigame that they should have called Roller Coasters. I think that would have worked way better, but I guess Hanger Management works well too. Number 11, Boo Tag. Okay, tag in a Mario Party game? Why not? And you have to make sure the Boo and whatever the person who is tagged doesn't catch you. And yes, they will run faster when they are tagged. So this minigame can end up being tons of fun as well. But not quite enough to make it into top 10. Number 10, Flash and Dash. Well, we officially made it to top 10, and this would be the one, if I was doing a top 10, this would be the minigame that would start that. I love the hide and seek type of minigames where you're running around, wherever, trying to find, someone. So it's kind of like Flash Fright from Mario Party 7, but it also reminds me of the the minigame from, I think it's Mario Party 9, where you're trying to look for Bowser Jr. So it's really neat. It's a really just creative minigame, just running around and trying to look for that person on the one side. And the person on the one side could have a fun time running away from the people who are it. So no matter what side you're on, this minigame is always fun. Definitely top 10 for sure. Number 9, Stick and Spin. I can't believe this is not number 1. Well, it's the Mario Party DS version. No need to worry too much. Well, I do love Stick and Spin, as you all know. It's easily one of my absolute favorite minigames in all of the Mario Party series. Just the puzzle minigame. Like, puzzle minigames are always fun, but the way this one works is just so fun to be able to pull off. But once again, the main problem with this minigame is the same problem with all the other puzzle minigames in this Mario Party. You can only play it single player. So unfortunately, you don't really get to go against an opponent. And half the fun of this minigame, plus all the other puzzle minigames, is being able to go against someone else. But, you know what? It's still a fun minigame overall, and I don't care if there would be a minigame that I wouldn't mind playing by myself, this would definitely, be that minigame. Just because the fact that it still can be fun by itself, and some of those other ones can be fun by itself too, like Bob-omb Breakers. But obviously, I love Stick and Spin, so this minigame is just, wonderful. And even though it is only single player, it doesn't hinder the minigame too much. But unfortunately, it's not my favorite in this collection. Number 8, Get the Lead Out. Oh, here's our mashing minigame for the day, and obviously it's not the best mashing minigame ever, but darn it, the mashing minigames are just too much fun. And the theme is really cool too, just doing it in a lead pencil. I'm pretty sure we've all done this before in school. Nothing else gotta say, just a simple mashing minigame, and definitely one of the best from Mario Party DS. Number 7, Call of the Goomba. Man, talk about just a goofy minigame. Sure, let's just play the Mario theme song on this, I don't even know, music thing, and try to get all the Goombas to come towards you. And depending on how fast or slow you go, depends on how many Goombas you get. So you want to make sure you play it at the perfect speed. Otherwise, the Goombas are just going to go elsewhere. Normally, this is one of those minigames that I just dominate everyone on. It's just so satisfying being able to play the music just perfectly and get all the Goombas on your side. It's definitely a top 10 for sure. It's one of those minigames that's super unique, not just for the theming, but just for the minigame itself. So yeah, top 10 for sure. Number 6, Hedge Hunch. Talk about unique minigames. This minigame is just so fun. You have to push all these leaves out of your way to, I guess, get to the next area. But you can also find some little surprises on those leaves. Sometimes it's ladybugs, sometimes it could be bees, whatever, I guess, is on the leaf. Sometimes there could be nothing. So it just ends up boiling down to be a fun minigame. Make sure you get the ladybug out of there, but don't touch that bee or it'll sting you and you'll waste some time. This is a minigame that's fun to get a better score on each time you play it. Definitely one of the best minigames in Mario Party DS. Number 5, Soap Surfers. Hey look, it's bumper balls, but just much more fun. Not only is the main theme of bumper balls, or the main problem with bumper balls, more fixed in this minigame, the fact that you have to build up speed, which can take forever, which, yeah, you still kind of have to do that in this Mario Party, but it's a lot easier to win in by yourself than just having a tie all the time. Plus, once again, the theme just carries this minigame. You're riding on soap in a sink, because, why the heck not? It's just so goofy and funny that it's just such a fun minigame to play. Even if it is, once again, kind of a reskin minigame, I don't care. It's a fun minigame, and definitely the start of a top 5. Number 4, Peekaboo. So, this minigame is one of the 1v3 minigames where you have to find, the right boo. And there's a whole bunch of them, so in a way, this is basically the wanted minigame from Super Mario 64 DS, which, once again, another funny minigame to kind of reference. And this one is tons of fun to play. It also kind of reminds me of the minigame from Mario Party 10, where you have to get, more Goombas than someone else. So it kind of reminds me of that, but this minigame is better. And in my opinion, this is my favorite 1v3 minigame of the bunch. It's not only very unique, but it's just fun in general. I mean, the one minigame from Super Mario 64 DS was lots of fun as well, and this one can be a very satisfying one to pull off. Number 3, Domino Effect. You know I love the minigames where you have to mash a bunch of different buttons all at once. Well, ones like this, to get to the end to get better records. It's literally just the minigame from Mario Party 9. I forget what the minigame is called, but you know the one where you have to climb up the hill. Peak Precision. That's the one. It's literally that minigame, but instead of climbing up, you're climbing across instead. So while it is definitely on the simpler side, who cares? This minigame is just tons of fun to be able to, you know, once again, get a high score each time you go across it. And once again, like every single minigame, the theme is great. Number 2, Boogie Beam. The music minigames are always fun to do, or rhythm minigames, whatever one you want to call it. And this one's really unique. Basically, if the spotlight's on you, you push one button. But if it's not on you, then you got to push the purple button. So in a way, it's almost like, it's kind of like Time to Shine from Super Mario Party. In a way, just not really rhythm based, and instead you're just pushing one or more button. One or the other button. I also love how the song is basically just the underground song as well from the Mario Bros. Games. It's catchy, and I also love seeing them all up there dancing as well. Definitely one of the best minigames from Mario Party DS. Number 1, Camera Shy. I mean, come on, what else would it be? Boogie Beam's a great minigame and all, but does it compete with the Goliath that is Camera Shy? I don't think so. This minigame is just wonderful. I love running around in the maze trying to find everyone, and the big giant cameras everyone is holding is just so goofy and funny seeing them all hold it. And every time you take someone's picture, they like throw their camera up in the air like, I don't know, like they didn't want their picture taken, I guess, or they just figured, well, someone else got my picture now, I'm going to be a little bit further behind. I don't know, it's just so goofy, and I love how at the end of the minigame, you get to see whoever the winner is and what their pictures look like, and sometimes the pictures end up turning out to be really goofy. So this is hands down, easily, I mean, Boogie Beam's great, but no other minigame in this Mario Party could even compete with Camera Shy. This is easily, without a doubt, my favorite minigame in Mario Party DS, and probably one of my absolute favorite minigames of all time. I don't know if it's better than some of the better stick and spins, but it's up there. Like, this is probably top 10 favorite Mario Party minigames of all time. I also love the minigames where you just take pictures of things too, so that's great, and it's just a goofy minigame in general, plus just very unique. The theme is great, and obviously the music is great too. So, what else need I say? It's a great minigame, and in my opinion, this is my favorite minigame from Mario Party DS. With that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, and a great and happy Thanksgiving.